What's up, y'all? We are back. This is episode 5 of the Houston Astros Out of the Park Baseball 26 series. We're here May 31st, 2027. The Astros are 23-31. About as bad of a start to the year as you could draw up. It's been pretty bad. Offensively, we have been brutal. Really, no one performing well outside of Jose Altuve. He's been really good. Back in the leadoff spot after not really being there to start the year. Tristan Casas has also been really solid. The guy we picked up from Boston this offseason. But Ketel Marte has been a bust thus far. Yordan has not been Yordan when he has played. A bunch of sirens go by outside. He's missed, a bunch of time already this year. He missed 7 weeks. Jeez, yeah, he missed 7 weeks. So he was on the IL to start the year. That's what it was. So it's about a week since I last recorded the last episode. He hasn't been himself when he's played and hasn't played that much. Cam Smith actually played pretty well in his second taste of Major League action. He's probably been our third best hitter of the season, which isn't saying a ton. He's been solid, but not really spectacular or anything. Jaron Duran's been a bust as well. You hope he starts getting a few more extra base hits, not really hitting as well as he did back in his prime in Boston in 25, where he had 85 extra base hits. And even 57 last year in 105 games is pretty good. He's not really on that pace at this point, so we'll just hope for improvement from him. Ha-Sung Kim has been a bust as a free agent signing thus far. The BABIP's low. He plays a lot of different positions. He's actually been quite good over at shortstop. Not so much second base, though. Yeah, it's not a crazy contract or anything, so it's not the end of the world if he's bad. But we'd like a little bit more out of him. Did give him some legitimate money. Drew Romo, he's been fine as our catcher. We like the defense, of course. A great framer behind the plate. It's helped out our pitching staff. And the bat hasn't been Austin Hedges bad. It's been bad, but he's still on pace for 3 WAR, which is very valuable, obviously. Then Jake Myers has been really bad at the plate. 202 BABIP, you hope that improves, but yeah, this is about what he did last year. Just not really a hitter. What's even more disappointing is Jacob Melton, who is the kind of, it's a pseudo platoon with Jake Myers. He's been horrible. A 151 average, a 55 OPS plus. 169 BABIP tells me better days are probably ahead for him, but yeah, it's not been good after a great season last year. And Starling Caba, some of the worst offensive numbers I've ever seen from a player who's gotten legitimate playing time. A 2 WRC plus, still only worth -0.2 WAR because his defense was fantastic while he was out there. 5.7 zone rate in just 35 games. You extrapolate that out to a full season, it's what was that, 25? So, a great defender, obviously, but yeah, just nothing with the bat. The BABIP incredibly low. For a guy with a lot of speed, you'd expect the BABIP to be higher. He's not horrible. He shouldn't be a 165 guy. So I don't really know what to do with him at this point. He's not starting. I'll tell you that. We put Ha-Sung Kim at shortstop, but he's just a total black hole offensively. That has led to pretty much the worst offense in the league. And Cole Carrick also has been good in limited reps, kind of playing all around the field at this point. It's a lot of mostly right field and third base, which isn't surprising because those are probably our 2 weakest positions. At least how guys are playing right now. Yeah, 15th in runs scored. Pitching staff has been good. Starters first in ERA. We still have not figured out the bullpen. Seems like it's been a trend through this series. So we'll start with the rotation. We'll start with the good. Logan Webb, who we picked up this offseason, has been spectacular to start. One of the best pitchers in baseball through 72 innings for him. Daishin Ishihara, not off to a great start. It hasn't been bad. He's had a couple really bad games, but 80 FIP minus tells me he's going to be a good arm once, things kind of normalize for him. But yeah, he's been okay. A little nervous about this contract, not going to lie, but We'll see. We'll see. Joe Musgrove's been just fine here in year 2 in his return to Houston. Definitely a quality number 3 starter. Hunter Brown's been really nice as our number 4. I mean, you can't get much better than that. And Zach Eflin, another nice season after a good first year last year in Houston. He's a free agent after next season. We have a team option for $16 million. That's really a toss-up if I would accept that at this point. The FIP, a little concerning, 5.17, FIP minus of 127. So he's actually worth 0 WAR, 1.4 R WAR, which I guess accounts for total runs. I think it's R WAR is like ERA based WAR, and WAR is FIP based WAR. So whatever, his results have been good. That's all I really care about. And the present, Justin Martinez, man, it's been a rough start to the season for him. Hasn't allowed a home run. And the walks are high, but that's kind of part of his game. And then the Ks are just about fine, but 54 FIP minus and a 67 ERA plus. The BABIP stuff's not crazy. I'm not really sure what's going on with him. So it's kind of shocking to see that big of a discrepancy between your ERA and FIP. It's only 15 innings. I'm sure it'll normalize, but he's had a rough start to the year. Joel Payamps, we gave a 2-year, $12 million deal to in the offseason to be our 8th inning man. It's been a slow start. There's still plenty of season left. Joe Mantiply has been pretty rough to start the year. We'll see if he can turn things around. Jack Leiter, who was a Rule 5 pick in the offseason, has been a tough start to the year for him as well, giving up way too many home runs. I don't know if he sticks on the team the whole year. Aiden Curry, another one of our prospects, only pitched 8 innings. Andrew Nardi's been okay when he's had to pitch. And then Wickelman Gonzalez has been our best reliever to start the year, which he's been good, but it's not really saying much for the 98 FIP minus. Actually, sorry, Kyle Freeland's been our best reliever. Like, I just assumed I would cut, and I kind of left him on the opening day roster, being like, okay, we'll let him throw 10 innings and we'll release him. But he's been awesome when he's gone out there as a reliever this year. So, we're paying him anyway. So if he keeps pitching well, we'll keep him on this team. Absolutely. No problem with that. Besides that, Jason DeCaro continues to kind of decline as a player. He still has a ton of value. Like, if I wanted to go trade him, I'd rather kind of just ride it out with him. I don't know. We drafted him first overall like less than a year ago. Or not, third overall less than a year ago. It'd be kind of stupid to give up on him so quickly, but maybe we do. I don't know. But yeah, he's in high A right now. Matt Scott making his way through the minors. He's pitched 51 innings in Double-A and looking like he's probably ready for Triple-A pretty soon. FIP, ERA all look good. The walks have come under control. Yeah, looking like a legit arm for us. Pedro Beltran playing down in the Dominican League to start the year. I don't know if he'll make it up to A-ball. I think there's a good chance he could. His ratings are getting there. But yeah, he's dominated at that level. There's really nothing else to prove down there. Malcolm Moore played really well in AAA as a backup, or as a starting catcher down there. Could project as a backup catcher. Especially, I didn't even mention Miguel Palma. He's been fine, so I'm not like a huge rush to call up Malcolm Moore. And Rainer Arias, a guy who I think I'm going to give the call to. We need some offense desperately. He's been murdering in AAA. Going to get censored for that, but yeah, he did get hurt earlier in the year, which is why he wasn't called up earlier, but now he's back as of today, I guess. So I stopped this for a reason. I think it was to call up Rainer Arias, actually, because he just got back from injury, but we'll maybe give it 2 weeks, let him get back into the lineup. Kenny Gomez, another guy who's crushed AAA. Ty Brackbill, a minor league free agent signing a couple of years back. I guess this was last August. post draft. This guy was drafted he was drafted in the 6th round. They released him less than a month later. I mean, I guess we can pretend it was some kind of issue that made the Phillies release him, but I've never seen someone release a 6th round pick less than a month after the draft. Jesus Ledesma, he is also pitching in the Dominican League and has been, lights out would be in selling him short, 0.44 ERA through 20 innings. Just incredible. He was our minor league free agent signing last offseason, or this offseason, I guess. You still got Josar Gonzalez down here playing in A-ball for the 3rd season now. Finally hitting at that level. I think he's got plenty of reps at that level, so let's call him up to high A. You got Kevin Alvarez. Oh yeah, he's I could probably call him up to A-ball. Yeah, then a couple other players here. Pablo Torres, a guy in AAA who's apparently in our top 30 prospects or 20 prospects. So yeah, but I just want to check in. We're 23 and 31. Things aren't going great. I think they can definitely turn around quickly, but we actually have to start winning games soon, or we could be sellers of the deadline. Who knows who that includes? So yeah, we'll be back in probably a month or so. I don't know. We'll see when we check in. All right, so we're back. It is July 1st, and Jordan went down with another injury. What was that? About a month ago. Sorry, about a month ago, went down with a strained MCL, missed 5 to 6 weeks. Just got an update today. He's gonna miss 2 to 3 more weeks after missing 4 weeks already. So that's been just a total disaster. And yeah, I don't know what to do with him, but we'll figure that out later. I should probably update on how the team's doing. 38 and 44. So we haven't really made up any ground. We started out, we've treaded water, 15 and 13 month of June, but we didn't make up any ground. Those first 2 months are brutal. They lost Joe Musgrove. That wasn't a huge injury. Ketel Marte's day-to-day for 2 weeks. I might just put him on the IL because he's been so bad. But the offense was 11th at one point. It's back down to 14th, so they've been bad. Second runs against, so the pitching's still doing their thing. The bullpen has been a huge issue, though. We did make one trade. We picked up Brian Hudson from San Diego. Just kind of a spare reliever for them. He's having a really nice season. And we wound up trading them Ha-Sung Kim, so he goes back to San Diego. It just wasn't working out here. We signed him to a 3-year deal, really a 2-year deal. But yeah, it wasn't working. We needed relievers, and we're gonna put Jordan Lawler at shortstop for now. We don't really have a clear shortstop at the moment. This farm system is pretty freaking weak still, even after having a bunch of top draft picks. We're 11th, so we're not bad, but Jason DeCaro, is he really the 17th best prospect in baseball? I don't think so. Maybe he could be a decent starter, but I don't see him being top 20 prospect. Matt Scott, definitely a reasonable prospect, and I think I'm going to call him up to AAA. He's pitched 120 something innings in AA, so let's call him up to AAA, see what he does there. We did call Rainer Arias. He's gotten 16 games, 62 plate appearances. Hasn't done much yet, but we're still looking for offense. He may as well develop up here. And then Malcolm Moore, it might just be time to call him up. It's not like Miguel Palma's been bad. He's been a fine backup catcher, but just get another bat in this room that's just desperate for one. I'm going to put Ketel Marte on the IL. Malcolm Moore, he's just a catcher. He can't really play anywhere else. I kind of need an infielder here, though. Starling Cobb, I guess. I don't know. He was hitting a little bit better before I sent him down. God, can you imagine him batting third? Whew. Okay, so I do want Carrick mixing in quite a bit. Maybe every fourth game at short, every third at second. Then we can move Kaba down in the order. So yeah, we also have Gabriel Gonzalez up in the majors again. He's played pretty decently in limited time, but yeah, we need offense. I've said that plenty of times, but the draft's in a few weeks. I did go through and do the scouting thing. I forgot what it's called. The combine, the draft combine. There you go. The draft pool looks pretty good. We have like the 15th pick, I think. Well, look at this. Rookie draft. Yeah, okay, here we go. So I think the guy I was targeting. Well, I mean, there's a couple of guys. I mean, this guy's the best pitcher in the draft. He looks like a really good arm. Likely number 1 overall pick. I had a couple of guys I was looking at in our slot. This Dennis King guy was okay. He wasn't my favorite, though. If this guy Roger Nunez fell to me, I'd jump all over him. He's my type of guy. Chris Warren, another guy, he's projected to go 8th, so I doubt it. Geez, they also went from 1st to 8th in the draft. That sucks. I'd be pissed. Yeah, there's a lot of good guys at the top of this draft. There was another one down here. I think it was one of the catchers. Yeah, John Rodriguez is a guy I really liked. Jason Teeter, another one that I also scouted. John Rodriguez would be sick, though. Then you got like my classic like guy I would sucker into drafting, like Tim Levitt. Guy expected to go late first round, but just like looks like he's gonna overperform the hell out of that. Kind of the Jason DeCaro, essentially. And maybe I'll fall for it again. I don't know. It's too early to tell, but it's very likely that will happen. I like this Travis Barber guy too. Yeah, there's definitely some good players we can get here. We don't have a comp pick, so that sucks. But we do have the 13th pick in the second round. They'll be good players. So, yeah, I already kind of did our scouting for that. But yeah, we're going to keep moving forward. We'll be back for the draft. All right, so it is July 11th. We still cannot make up any ground. 42 and 49, 7 games below. 7 more losses than wins. Not been a great month so far. We've gone 4 and 5. So, just treading water after a rough start. Not a good way. Not a good formula. Good teams, they have one good month and then they go 500 the rest of the year. We've had 2 bad months and are going to go 500 for the rest of the year, which isn't ideal. But anyway, we're here for the draft. We have the 15th pick. Dropped 4 spots in the lottery. Looks like Braves have a comp pick. Brewers have a comp pick that comes at number 6. Pirates, Arizona come in front of us. So that's the reason we fall to number 11, because of people not signing their first round picks, which is just crazy. Yeah, let's jump into it. So this guy is Mr. Brad Beef. He's projected to go number 1. Let's see if he does. Wow, they take Nick Peternell. Oh my God. This is why shitty teams stay bad. JD Speck, a much more reasonable pick. That's a good player. Cameron Thomas has his concerns, but a ton of upside. Rough personality, though. We have Ricardo Rubio, just a total stud. 18 years old, good floor already. I mean, yeah, that's my number 1 overall pick, I think, even though I don't really draft high schoolers. And then Beef finally goes number 5. It could be a huge steal there for Washington. The Brewers with their comp pick get John Mulhally. Chris Warren, guy I really wanted, goes number 7. He wasn't really ever going to fall to 15. Roger Nunez, I think this is a guy I really liked as well. All these guys, it's hard not to like them. And John Rodriguez went right before. Son of a bee. This is the guy I wanted, the catcher. Stud defensively, awesome offensively, man. That would have been sweet, but there's going to be some good players here available. So I do only have college guys. So let's go to Draft Central. So they take the mock draft and they kind of extrapolate who's left in the top players based on that. So John Holman, Dennis King is the guy they wanted us to take, or projected us in the mock draft. Jason Teeter's fun, but ton of bust potential there. If he can ever put the bat to ball. And he's struggled in the draft league. Pretty significant struggles. Jeff Fields, good high floor. Tanner Smith, I like. Joe Hale. Oh, and then we're going to get down to the pitcher that I'm going to fall for. Or did he already go? Oh, he must have already went. No, he didn't. Where the heck is he? Draft pipeline. Okay. The heck is okay? I don't know where this guy went. He didn't get drafted. There's only been 2 pitchers drafted. Let me take a look. This is like a total waste of time. I mean, this guy looks great, but fastball, sinker, cutter, not going to work in the majors. Oh yeah, here we go. Tim Levitt. Tim Levitt. I mean, geez, it's so hard to resist the urge to go after another high floor, high ceiling pitcher that I know is going to take the Jason DeCaro path and stop being good immediately. Or even Matt Scott. Matt Scott was a freaking beast when I drafted him, and then also fell off a cliff. Not as bad as DeCaro, I will say. At least he looks like a capable, mid-rotation starter. Yeah, we drafted him, or we picked him up back here. It was this, yeah. So he had 60, 55, 45. Those are a later first round pick. But anyway, I'm getting way off track. But this is gonna be Jason DeCaro all over again, where we drafted him. He was 65, 55, 75. Now he's 50, 45, 50. What the hell? Makes no sense. We do have high scouting accuracy, which gives me a little bit more confidence in the pick. I don't know if we had high scouting with DeCaro, but I'm going to look around a little bit, make sure this is the right pick. Maybe we take a hitter for once in the first round. I kind of don't do that. It probably cost our offense a ton in the current day. So, yeah, let me jump off camera. I'll look around for some players. We'll come back with the pick. Okay, so I kind of went through all the players here, and the only other one I was really debating between is Tanner Smith, who I like his all-around game. We could use some middle infield types. But I'm going with Tim Levitt. If I get burned, that's fine. But I mean, we've taken 3 pitchers in a row. One of these guys has got to be good, right? Let's just take him. 16th overall, and we'll go to the next round, and maybe Carter Smith's available. I doubt it, and he's not. So that's fine. The one thing that does happen here usually is I get stuck with like you never actually have like top hitting prospects. Bobby Scornsberg has a nice floor though. Maybe I just go with the best hitter in the draft, even if he's a first baseman. I mean, we got Casas in the building. I don't know. I don't think he's under contract for that much longer. Yeah, a few years, 4 years. 3 after this one. Ooh, I like his defense according to the OSA. I kind of like this guy, Joe. Joe Spitznogly. Decent floor for an 18-year-old. Got some hitting tools. And actually maybe Tony Oliver's a nicer floor, even if he's a third base, first base, not even corner outfield type. I don't like the eye being so low. This kind of like it's like Cam Smith with the ability to not strike out, who has not been great, but not gonna get on too much about that. And from just a pure hitter standpoint, I think Huffins is the safest bet. He's got some good gap power, great speed. I mean, this guy can hit 10 triples a year. Has a good floor as well. The defense out in left field wouldn't be great. Let's take him. Unless I really like Spitznagel, nah. Oh, Billy Baldwin's pretty good too. A little bit better defensively, a little bit worse in the bat. Yeah, I'll stick with Huffins. And he's got a really low demand too. Okay, so I mean Billy Baldwin's still there. We can double up. Or we can go with a pitcher. So Trevor McDaniel's still here for a reason. Don't see him as a starter. Could be an excellent reliever, though. John Contreras. This guy... Why did I not look at him? Gary Coslett. Yeah, I feel like I always gloss over high school guys now. I don't really love drafting them, but man, I like him a lot. Yeah, let's get some hitters in this system. Screw it. I don't even care if there's a good pitcher. Let's get Gary Coslett in the building in the 3rd round. Then we have our 4th round pick. I actually just clicked on this guy, Tony Caballero. I really like him. Bunch of pitches. Got some out pitches. Maybe the changeup doesn't develop. This guy's got some huge strikeout issues. Geez, I mean, just massive upside. He's impossible. Do we have the money? We have the money to throw some dough at an impossible guy. Is Kyle Pierce worth it? Like, I don't know what it would be, $10 million. We have the money to spend. I'm probably not spending $55 million here. Let's do it. Actually, probably last another round. See if there's anything else. Alfonso Torres has got a great glove. Not much with the bat. Adrian Barnes looks pretty good. Bunch of pitches. Got some upside with velocity. Good baseball IQ. really well-rounded. I don't know if he's any better. That other guy I was looking at. Who the heck was that? Okay. Jonathan Contreras, no. This is probably so boring. Oh my god. I am getting bored myself trying to find a player to take here. This is kind of important though. But yeah, Tony Caballero is the guy I liked. Okay, so let's go with him, and then we'll take the impossible guy next round if he's still there, which I assume he will be. There he is, Kyler Pierce. So we'll take him. Just throw a bunch of money at him, see if he signs in the 5th round. Maybe a little early to be doing that, but whatever. Bobby Squirnsburg's still here. Skogsberg still here. Too good a value to pass up. Think we should take Miguel Guillen. Yeah, I'll do the rest of the draft off camera because this is going to take some time to do. So we'll be back with the results. Okay, we are back. It's been a few days since I last recorded, but jumping back into it. So we're 45 and 53 at this point. We're July 23rd, 2027. And, it's not looking great for like playoffs at this point. Like we're a ton of teams to pass. We're closer to the bottom than we are to a playoff berth, quite frankly. Although, we're 9 games back. It's not impossible. Way back in the division. We're in 4th place. So, I don't even know. I might get fired after the season, quite frankly. But I think like 3 years of sucking usually gets it done. But I'm kind of ready to pull the plug on this experiment with this team. It just really did not work out. And, I kind of went for a different method of team building. I usually try to prioritize defense and pitching. With this team, I kind of went more for the offense. Didn't really work out, it seems. Our zone rating's 9th. I like to be, at least top half of the league at the very least. The offense hasn't really been there. So yeah, I'm kind of ready to pull the plug on this season. We could still compete. This isn't like a complete blow it up trade, but it's a retool. I had looked around at other trades. I actually had one here lined up with the Rangers where I essentially took like a ton of their farm system, at least a lot of pitchers. I gave up the same guys, minus Jordan Lawler, who's not in this deal. But, it would have been Julio Vega. He's the big get. But, I don't even know if I'll be around next year. Connor Ware, another guy I really, really, really like. Luke Rodriguez. It was just like a bunch of guys. All pitchers, though. So, the offense has been an issue. I'm not really concerned about the pitching at this point. So, I did decide to go in a different direction. It's still going to be giving up Daishin Ishihara, who was our offseason trade. He's been with the team for 122 days. And we're already, going to pull the trigger on this trade. He has not been bad. I'm not trading him because he's had a bad season or anything. Maybe a little bit of buyer's remorse for sure. He's on pace for 5 WAR. But, the pitching staff, how it is, even without him, I'm totally, totally comfortable with the rest of this pitching staff. Logan Webb's been a total superstar this year. And I'd love to lock him up, but he still has another year of control. So, I'm totally okay with him being our ace. Joe Musgrove is a free agent after the year. We'll have to replace him. We have some guys coming. Hunter Brown hasn't looked pretty results-wise, but the FIP, everything looks pretty much the same as last year when he was a really good arm. So I'm not concerned about him. And Zach Eflin, man, he's been just fantastic for us this year. So I'm comfortable with those 4 guys. And I want to flip Ishihara for kind of another impact bat who can also play the field. Unlike, I thought it was our big pickup this offseason, Ketel Marte. He's quite frankly been really, really bad. The bat hasn't been there. The defense is horrible over at second base. I thought his offense would offset the defensive liability that he is, but it has not. He's a free agent after next season. He's a team option. I probably wouldn't even pick that up. And then Jaron Duran's actually rebounded after a tough start, mostly fueled by these last 4 games. He's had a nice year, but his defense is not really fantastic in right or left. He's basically league average. So, prioritizing defense moving forward. And also another reason I want to do this deal is we give Rainer Arias a true shot. He did come up for 29 games, really, really struggled in those games, fueled by a 222 BABIP, which I think will, it can't get much worse than that for him. So I really want to give him a true shot here. And Duran's kind of in his way for the moment. And, next year he'd also be in the way. So, and with Altuve still on the roster and having a really good year for what it's worth, Duran's the guy to move here. Melton's been, not been great with the bat, but he has been good defensively out in center field. So I'm totally fine with him out there, despite the 65 range that I usually shy away from in center field. So this is all to say, we're going to pull off a trading Ishihara, Jaron Duran, Ketel Marte, also tossing in Bennett Souza and Joe Mantiply. And the package coming back, it looks crazy. It's a good package for sure. And I did have a version of this deal throwing in Spencer Steer, but I decided against it because, the defense isn't great out in the outfield, or basically, I don't want to do this again with the bad defensive outfielder. So I decided to go throwing Carlos Sanchez, who's also not a good defender, but at least he's young and, has some tools where I think he can be a nice major league player if he can improve his defense just a little bit. So in return, we're getting Matt McLean, who is much better than Ketel Marte defensively and offensively, at least in theory. The results haven't really been here this year, but the last 2 years he's been, a 4.5 win player, 5 wins 2 years ago, 3.5 last year. He's under team control for 2 more seasons after this one. He's only 27, going to be fairly cheap for what he gives us. And, he's a guy we can look to lock down due to his good defense over at second base. I think it's a good pickup. Even if he's not like a fantastic player or anything, like he's a good quality, good defensive player, good bat, type of guys that I want in the building. And we're replacing Ishihara with Nick Lodolo, who is having a really good season in his own right. Pretty comparable to Ishihara, actually. And he is under a very, very, very team-friendly deal. About 3 years, $28 million left on it, $30 million left on it. So we're getting cheaper. And, I'm not saying Lodolo is going to be as good as Ishihara could be, but he's a comparable arm to plug into the rotation. And he has a couple years of control. He replaces Joe Musgrove, who will be leaving next year, and we can plug in some of the younger guys as they come up. Tyson Lewis, I kind of just threw him in. He's a good depth minor league guy to have. 21 years old. Who knows? Maybe he can develop. Then Hunter Green. He looks like he could be a good player, but I already know that the home run nonsense is going to catch up to him. The control is not good anymore. He did have a pretty major injury last year, a stretched elbow ligament, which did kill his stamina. He's down to a 40, still usable as a starter. But I'm planning to use him as like a high leverage reliever when I bring him in. We don't really need another starter. I have guys that I'd rather plug in over Hunter Green. And I think Green could be a really good reliever. Bring him in for an inning spurt, or maybe 2 innings. He does have this pretty big deal. They'll be retaining most of it, 90% of it. It's 15 for next season, or this season, and 16 for next year, and team option for 21, which I doubt we'd pick up unless he's really, really good. But anyway, they're throwing in Hunter Green. I could do this deal with Spencer Steer and Hunter Green retain 20. I don't get these other 2 guys. I'd rather do this deal just because I don't really know where I'd play Spencer Steer. And then Trent Hodgkin, they're going to throw in as well. 24-year-old rookie. And now that I'm seeing he's 24, I'm kind of against this, throwing him in. I might look for someone else. Has some theoretical upside. He's 24, so I don't know if he'll reach that. But a good dart throw, and then Carlos Sanchez, who we briefly discussed, another throw-in type. So I do want to just look. Maybe there's someone else. there was a guy down here, Colton Smith, that I really liked. It's going to take a bit more. I know teams have had interest in Jordan Lawler. I understand why. He should be a good player, but he's not really. So that definitely moves the needle. I don't know if it moves it enough. Joel Payamps is another guy that people really want. He's 33, so I'm not opposed to trading him. But we did get him under a really nice contract. 2 years, $12 million. For what he's given us this year, he's been well worth that. And I don't really know if I want to trade him. So Justin Martinez isn't going, even though he's had a rocky season results wise. The FIP still looks excellent. I'm not worried about him. Wilkerman Gonzalez, another guy we can consider, but he's come along really well. He's pitching fantastic this season. Don't want to get rid of him. And I mean, none of these other guys I really want to deal. Yeah, even though DeCaro's, I'm low on him. Jesus, freaking stamina's 40. I'm not ready. I don't really want to give up on him, just in case he blows back up. So we'll just take Colton Smith out and bring back Ryan Ferrucci, who we traded them last year, 2 years ago, for Edwin Arroyo. Who, if you're curious about Edwin Arroyo, he's been about the same that he was last year for us. Almost the exact same player, actually, which is funny. Maybe we'd want him over Starlin Caba at this point. I don't know. I'm not losing sleep over that trade. Maybe this guy could maybe be a good reliever. Yeah, but they really don't want to give him up. Like Noah Wilson. Are they high on him? Yeah, Brian Hudson. Oh, did I go over this trade? We traded Ha-Sung Kim for Brian Hudson. I think I went over this. This was a few weeks ago now. But I want to keep Hudson because I'm not trying to completely blow it up this season. I might just throw in that reliever and we'll be on with it. It's not like a huge piece of this trade. I wonder if they'd throw in Ryan Burchard. Oh, they would. 24. Copy personality. He looks like he was 5th round pick in 23. Traded to the Reds from the Red Sox. And then they released him 3 months later. Brian, wow, what a horrible trade. Okay, so I mean, if they'll throw him in, I'll take Ryan Burchard off their hands. He's not a horrible reliever or anything. Good to just keep stockpiling talent. So, Trent Hodgkins was the guy. Yeah, I mean, if they really don't want him, then I'll take him. Okay, so we'll do this trade. Kind of went through it all, so I don't need to recap. So, kind of a big blow up. Ishihara, big free agent signing. Maybe there was a little bit of buyer's remorse. Okay, so I'm happy with where we are after that deal. Still, even after, dealing away our second best pitcher and, good capable outfielder. Kyle Freeland's kind of come back down to earth. I think it's probably just time to release him. We'd rather give the opportunity to some younger guys. So we'll throw Hunter Green into the bullpen. We'll see how he does. He's pretty much for free this season. So we wanted to open up the spot for Arias. So let's get him out there. And then, we could just slot McCain into second, Arias into right. And another guy I'm looking to move is Jake Myers, I think. He's a nice player, but he's a free agent after the year. I probably won't bring him back. This also gives us an opportunity to get Gabriel Gonzalez a little bit more playing time. He really hasn't gotten a fair shake yet either. So, Jordan will eventually get hurt again. So, and he hasn't been really good either when he's been out there this season. I like how this team shapes up a little bit better. We don't have a ton of holes. Cobb is a massive hole, but besides that, offensively, we're in pretty good shape. Drew Romo's not a good hitter either, but he's an excellent defender. And then the rotation, I mean, it doesn't even look bad. So I don't know if we downgraded a ton, maybe just a little bit. But I don't even know if that's the case. So anyway, that was long. We'll be back if there's another deal or up to the deadline here. All right, so I went around and searched for deals for Jake Myers. He's a useful asset for a team who's looking to win right now, which we're really not. And then Kyle Wright's also thrown in this deal. A lot of teams wanted him, so I'll send him to a team that wants him. We're getting kind of a grab bag of players here. Maybe I could have gone for a guy in AAA who's closer, but as I go for some lower talent, younger talent, I guess, guys in the lower levels. So Eduardo Beltre, one of the guys we're picking up here, he's a nice little player. Could be a good corner outfield type, fourth outfielder maybe. Or maybe if he develops, he could be something more than that. Kadeem Diaw, kind of the same flavor. Similar player, both in A-ball. He's a little bit older, though. Brayton Holcomb's got some pop. A guy who was a good player for me in my Twins series, so I'm a little attached to him. Then Giovanni Rodriguez is a guy I really, really wanted in this deal. High leader, high work ethic, high baseball IQ. Pretty far along for 20-year-old ratings-wise. Has a good baseline, catcher skill set. Has just not been able to get out of rookie ball now. And when he has not been good this season. So Rodriguez is a big piece, probably my favorite piece that we're getting in this deal. Maybe Zane Adams is the number one piece, though. Really like him. High floor pitcher, type of guys that I like to go after. Then a couple dart throws, Gabriel DeValio. Again, good baseline catcher ability, has good personality traits, pretty far along for a 19-year-old. Who knows what happens with him? And Wyatt Lunsford Schenkman, a guy they got in a trade with the Mets back in 26. Low baseball IQ. He's already 24, not that well developed. We'll see if he ever works out. But for Jake Myers, I think getting a bunch of different players, I think this is a good, and realistic trade. Walter Jenkins has come along nice. Correa hasn't been great for him. Buxton, been fairly healthy the last couple of years. Wow, 81 OPS plus with a 3.4 WAR. He must have been insane defensively. 18.6 zone rating out in center. That is sweet. Anyway, this will be the trade. So we're going to pull the trigger on that. And that does open up more opportunity for Gabriel Gonzalez, who hasn't been able to see a ton of time in the lineup. So we'll mix him in corner outfields. Maybe get Arias a little bit of time in center field just because he's kind of our best option out there. I did want to check where these guys went. So Burchard's in AAA, Sanchez in AAA. Cool. Okay, so these guys, Beltre, definitely not in AAA. I think we'll send him to high A to start. I think Diaw was fine. Let's put him in high A, though. Let him start there. Braden Holcomb, probably same story. We'll put him in A-ball for now. Rodriguez, I think we'll put him in A. Where the heck is he? Is he a 40-man guy? What the heck? I didn't realize he was on the 40. That's crazy. Oh my God. He's going to be out of options before he even gets close to the majors. What the hell did they do that for? Really screwed us. Oh my God. Probably should have looked at that. I just assumed he wasn't. Zane Adams, I think he's good in double A. DeValio can go to A-ball. And Schenkman, high A is fine for him for the moment. Okay, so I think that'll probably be the last trade. I like where this team's at now. We're kind of leaning into more of how I like to team build. We were kind of just dealt a bad hand with this team. It's not a defensively built squad like the Astros aren't in real life. So at least in the version of this game, I don't know how they actually are in real life, but But yeah, we kind of had some building to do. So I think we're in a good place now. So we will cut out, go up to the deadline, and we'll be back. Maybe if there's any more moves. All right, so we were on a nice little roll. We were 3-2 after that trade, and then we just lost 3 in a row to Texas and the Angels. So we're at deadline day. I think that's still, I don't think we're going to make any more moves. There were some good signs. Rainer Arias did have a couple of 2-hit games in a row. Since then, he's gone hitless, so it doesn't look that great. But at least there's some, something to build off of there. Overall, the offense has just been so disappointing. Jordan's been horrible. Really, our only good hitter has been Altuve and Cassis, who quietly is having an amazing season over at first base. And that, maybe the Jaron Duran part of the deal didn't work out that well. But for what we gave up, how was your Robania? Robania actually was pretty good when he was up in the majors. I gotta stop clicking like that. Encarnacion was good in limited time up in the majors. Luis Baez, guy I really liked, didn't have a spot for him though. Oh, who's out with a broken elbow. Zach Cole hasn't been up to the major, and Spencer Arrighetti, he's been a decent reliever for them. Nothing special though. But anyway, that's the episode. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you guys next time, and hopefully I'm not fired at that point. I actually might turn no firing on, at least so I don't get fired after the season. But yeah, we'll be back in the next episode. We'll see you then. Peace.